Thank you for joining me on Instagram Live today for our special Thursday evening, Thursday lunchtime event, Abundance for Lunch. I'm so excited to have everyone. We're going to get right into it. Make sure that we're turned up, everything is good. And we're going to get right into it with our special guest for today, Udleen A. Deravines. I talked about her on my feeds on social media this week. And my favorite thing about her is the fact that she is empowering us to reach for all of our dreams and not just one of them. Because we hear that all the time. You need to just do one. You need to start with one. So she's going to tell us a little bit more about how we can go after all of our dreams, how we can master them, and how we can leave nothing on the table. So I'm very excited to talk to her, hear about all of the several books that she's written, hear about how she transitioned from the comeback woman to her new adventures and the different businesses that she has and how it can help impact my life, impact your life, and help us do more good in the world. So let's get Udleen on here right away.
Hello.
Hi, Udleen. How are you today?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good now. I ain't even gonna lie to everybody. Normally when y'all see me with this on, it's because I had to go through some sort of self-care stuff, and I was just like, trying to get back into my place of zen. So that's where I am today.
Right. Typical woman stuff. That's understandable.
Yes. So Udleen, I'm so excited to have you. And I just told everyone a little bit about you. I think you were watching.
Right.
And I have one question that I want to start off with that is really burning me in my soul. But before we do that, I want to give you the opportunity to share a little bit about yourself with people as well.
Okay. I know you mentioned the comeback woman and all of those things. Do you want me to talk about that and then the transition, or what do you want me to really share what I'm doing now?
Yes, what you're doing now, how you can help women, men like me who are watching right now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Udleen. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, a proud multi-passionate entrepreneur and personal brand strategist. Basically, what I do is I help multi-passionate trailblazers to strategically brand themselves, because that's one of the things that people tend to struggle with a lot when you're considered as jack of all trades or Jill of all trades. So part of what I do is helping those type of people to strategically brand themselves so that they don't have to limit their talents or their gifts that God has given them. So that's one. I also have a photo marketing and brand activation company. And also I'm an author. So yeah, speaker and things of that nature.
So I can see you not wanting to brag, girl, but it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm a brag for you. It's all good because you always amaze me. But one of the things you said was that you want to help everyone complete all of the gifts that God gave them. So I'm wondering, in this society, in my former world of business coaching and things like that, brand coaching or whatever, the message has always been, or the common message has always been, you need to niche down. One thing. How did you come to the realization that there's a way for you to do it all?
Praying. Because it got to a point where I worked with so many coaches and it was always the same thing. You need to cut it down to just one thing, niche it down to one thing. And every time I find myself doing that, I didn't feel like I was being authentic to who I really was. And it got to a point where sometimes people will look at you and feel like, well, you scattered, you all over the place. You don't know what you're doing. Or one minute you're this person, the next minute. you that person. And I just got to a point where I was just like, okay, God, you called me to all of those things. You gave me all of those gifts and all of those talents. And there were times when I felt like it was a blessing and a curse. Because in one hand, people will look at me and say, oh my God, you're so gifted. You know how to do so many things. And you so well-rounded in so many areas. But meanwhile, within myself, I just kept feeling like, but when I'm sitting down with a coach and I'm working on my business plan, it's always, you have too much going on. So I had to really, it took me actually sitting down after the whole comeback woman transition to actually tune in and allowing God to flow through me and showing me direction on how to strategically position myself and move forward and not try to fit into what everybody else is saying. Because I'm always reminded of this parable in the Bible about this man that gave his servants several talents. One had 3, one had 2, and one had 1. And the one that had 3, that was that person's capacity. They were able to handle the 3. The person that had 2, that was that person's capacity. They were able to handle the 2. And then there was the one person that had the 1 talent. That was their capacity. So for me, my capacity is not just one. It's not just one niche. And understanding that I'm not limited to just one niche. And so from there, it's just, again, like I said, a whole lot of praying and meditating and just tuning in and being able to find a ways to strategically weave things together to do what I do.
Yo, my soul is jumping right now.
That's awesome.
Listen, I'm excited about this because your keywords, that's that person's capacity. Mm-hmm. So just like you, I've also had, many coaches and, people stay targeting me on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. I enjoy them though. I like looking at people's math classes and everything. I always learn something. Right. But you said that that's that person's capacity. So a lot of times people limit you and you don't realize that they may be putting their limitations on you. So that's so powerful. Now, the thing that was burning in my soul was I woke up this morning and I was feeling a little emotional. It was quite strange. I know what was going on because the day before I was so excited about life and just everything was good. And then this morning I woke up and I was like, what is this? Mm-hmm. So I went to the place where I always go to do my prayers and meditation and stuff. I went to my yoga mat. Mm-hmm. And so when I'm on my yoga mat, it allows me to take my time, move a little bit slower, and I can hear what's happening in my head and in my heart. So once I was done, actually in the process of doing yoga, when I was about to end, the sweat is dripping from my face. I don't even know the name of the pose that I was doing, but it was basically opening up my hips. And the sweat hit the mat and it was like, go deeper. And then I said, I can't. And then the voice was like, no, you can do it. And then it hit me in the next moment. That's your problem this morning. That's why you're emotional. You're emotional because in the background of your mind is playing a story. You can't do it. I'm not sure if I can do it. I'm not sure I'm enough. What if I fall? What if I fail? Mm-hmm. And then right as I'm getting ready to come on to this live, my daughter's watching Pinkalicious on channel 2. And the teacher says to Pinkalicious, because she's trying to do some twirls for ice skating and she can't get it right. And then the teacher falls. Oh, wow. The teacher falls, Udeline. And then the teacher, and they rush over, Pinkalicious rushes over to the teacher and says, oh my God, Mr. So-and-so, are you okay? And then he looks at her and he laughs and he says, haha, it's okay, Pinkalicious, I'm okay. If you don't fall every now and then, Pinkalicious is dropping bombs this morning. He said, if you don't fall every now and then, that means you're not growing.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
Yes, I love that. I love that. I mean, wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. Mm-hmm. I know. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about the comeback woman, because When I initiated the movement with the comeback woman, everything was going great. My first event, I had a huge number of women that showed up for the event, and it was just exciting. I was just going with that. And it wasn't until March of 2016 where I just went all out. What I thought. I put together a huge event, invested so much money. Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
Wait, I'm sorry. It cut out a little bit. In 2016, you went all out for?
2016, I went all out and I put together the Comeback Woman event. And at that moment, what I expected to be the biggest event that I was going to have here in South Florida, a room that could sit 400 people, 15 people showed up. And that was like the moment that I felt like a failure. And I felt like, God, did you really call me to this? What is going on? And I sat down after. And that was the last event that I did. 2016 was the last event that I did. And I sat down from 2016 all the way to 2019. And that had to happen in order for my evolution to take place. Because that took place, because that part of me ended, but I was still holding on to it and was still doing everything else because that was the thing to do. And I kept on going and kept on going. But it took that to happen for God to say, no, I have greater things in store for you. You bypassed the comeback woman. You're no longer making a comeback. I'm trying to take you to a new level, a new dimension. But I was stuck in comeback woman. So it took that to happen for me to actually sit down and really tune in. And I grew mentally, emotionally, physically. Like I took care of myself, self-care. That's when I really started to I go get my nails done. I go get my feet
we keep
done.
having a little. We're gonna keep going, but we keep having a little bit of in and out. I just want you to be aware. Okay. I just want you to be aware. But keep going. So you grew from that experience past the comeback woman.
Exactly. So it helped me to discover a whole new woman. But it took that to happen.
You talked about asking God, did you really call me to this? And so many people are out there, myself included, as I felt this morning, did you really call me to this? And so when you have those moments of doubt or fear creeping in, what do you do about them?
For me, I just really take the time and tune in. That's always what I go back to. I tune in, I pray, and then I recall. I recall the promises. I recall those things that the words that God gave me from the very beginning. And sometimes it's just the imposter syndrome stepping up to be like, hey, you're really not good for this, or you weren't made for this. So it's just tuning in, praying, and then recalling who I am and speaking life back into myself, and then just moving forward.